Been playing lots of CrimeBoss since the release on Steam. As many of you seen from my streams or jank videos here, I have to say the game is great. Definitely recommend. Sure, there is some need of bug fixes and optimization, but overall, you definitely get your values worth for a $25 game. So, I wanted to make this review video on some of the challenge mods I've been playing around with. After a couple hundred hours, the game has gone a bit easy for me, even on the hardest difficulty, Extreme. You can complete campaigns in under an hour, which should be slowed down a tad. Before we begin, what do you do in CrimeBoss Rocky City?
Well, new adventures await, buddy.
Simple, you take over the city. You do that with Turf Wars, which is where you send soldiers in a gang versus gang battle. There are 4 other gangs you need to compete with. Meanwhile, you have a crew that goes heisting banks and stores, both stealth and loud, around parts of the city to make money. Use that money to upgrade your gang, set off soldiers for more turf wars, or to enhance your crew with weapons and equipment for other heists. You also gain levels for the single-player campaign via Entourage. This allows for next campaign runs to be easier and easier. Lastly, there are levels for multiplayer. You can get them through single-player too. They are mostly weapon, equipment, or class unlocks for you to play with others, but they're also available in the campaign to upgrade your crew with. Now, it all may seem simple, but there's lots of replayability and learning when it comes to playing CrimeBoss. Hence, it has been pretty fun and somewhat addicting. Oh, and the combat loop, pretty simple too. There's no armor like in Payday. You take damage, you go into cover, wait a few seconds, and your health regenerates. But you can't overextend, you will get punished. As for weapons and equipment, lots of guns feel great. Everything is strong and viable for creative combat styles. The first mod I played with was Khan's Revenge. As the name states, he's mad. Apparently Baker's kidnapped, but you have Touchdown instead, so the upgrades in Entourage for Baker won't help you here. You also have limited health during the run, both total health and slower regeneration. You start with less turf and soldiers, as well as riskier options for turf wars. The only benefit here is you can send your crew on missions twice a day. When taking turfs, you don't need to send a minimum of 10 soldiers. It can be 1, but that means all aggro from the enemies is taken out on you. And if your only soldier is dead, well, that's a waste of money and that 1 unit. Khan's gang army starts at tier 3, which is max, so they have lots of health and damage, on top of the rushing armies of crowbar-wielding riders at you. The obvious answer could be fighting them while your army is also at tier 3, but for whatever reason, the next day causes you to be bankrupt, which I don't know why. Maybe, I guess we're stuck with tier 2. What the fuck? This mod is... Anyways, while we farm money from robbing banks and stores, the heat is at max at all times, and if things go loud, there's a lot of cops, special units, and robots coming at you. They will kill you very quickly. But on another run, I did experiment if it was possible, and thanks to a dumb AI running into lasers while we were stealthing, it is, and barely. So the strat I found here was to abuse killing their commanders and their vehicles a lot. And I mean a lot. So if you're bored of doing turf wars all the time, you can do these special missions, which saves up on soldiers for turf wars, while you can have some fun sneaking around missions to remove the gang off the map. After saving up my army and shrinking him down, it was easy to take him out of the game. While this mod does what is right, slowing down the campaign progression, soft-locking a player from a tier 3 army is a dumb way to do it. It makes more sense for turf wars and soldiers to be a little bit more pricey to send them out, hence you doing more heisting missions to make that money back. But forcing the player to be on a tier 2 army is just silly. Next is the level 0 mod. Remember those Entourage upgrades? Well, remove them. That's simple. 60,000 cash? 1 territory, no army, nothing. You're on bare bones with skill and knowledge. The big ones being removed is starting turfs, starting soldiers, and slowed investigation. Now while you complete taking over the city, you're on a time limit. This is called the Investigation by Sheriff Norris, which will inevitably game over you if it reaches 100% and you end the next day. So with this mod, you have to work fast with the right choices. While vanilla strats are still mostly applied here, you just have to play better during turf wars because they also get bonuses from Entourage as well, and need to do more heists to make more cash so you can afford all those upgrades. I did run into a couple of challenges. One challenge was my big heist being import-export. I got greedy during stealth. Here's a pro tip: never be greedy in this game. It will punish you. So being patient is always better. Taking my time, I managed to push through going loud, since I knew what was needed and where to go. Since I was only using Baker for the most part, only time I needed backup was when my warehouse was under attack. These usually happen after several days in the campaign. If you don't defend it, you lose a big chunk of your money. Now, in the spirit of the level 0 mod, the only exception to this is the multiplayer unlocks, which was the sentry gun and Lecter, which comes with, class perks and class weapons and equipment. It is still a level 0 campaign run, but this assumes, say, me having level 155 in multiplayer to buy these unlocks in the campaign to help me here in this situation. Short and sweet, the mod does an excellent job of slowing down the campaign, keeping things tough for the player. But if you keep replaying the game, it doesn't feel rewarding for someone like me to use their sweet Entourage levels to benefit them for next runs. But at least this proves the fact that you can beat the campaign in extreme difficulty without any Entourage levels. Saving the last for the best, a harder extreme difficulty. Nightmare, as the mod creator calls it, or the file says baby mode? I don't know. Lots of changes here, but everything is still close to vanilla. Stealth is harder since guards, cameras, and enemies can see farther and spot you faster. Ammo pickup has been slightly reduced, as well as your health being limited again, similar to Khan's Revenge, which is total less health and slower regeneration. The stealth detection in this mod is similar to Payday 2's. They finally have that range to see you from far away. This encourages more planning and less risks. This is where you get your brick or stun grenade to be your best friends. But another example was me getting complacent and used to vanilla rushing. I accidentally jumped for a second, and a guard spotted me and started the alarm because of it. Safe to say, I can say that this mod was ready to kick my ass. I literally jumped for... unlucky, dude. While there are no restrictions like Khan's Revenge or the level 0 mod, you can keep all your Entourage bonuses. But everything in the game still remained difficult. I even messed up another big heist in stealth and was forced to go loud. Thankfully, I knew what to do in loud. Picked up the overpowered shotgun called the SPX, took control of the turrets in Gold Cup, managed the gold loot myself, and took care of the last part of the heist easily. Barely made it out myself! But I will stress the AI can be severely dumb in this game. And poor Mozart here and the dumb AI got him killed. Well, I learned my lesson in bad stealth. I'm surprised I managed that out in single player. Loud. And fucking Mozart's AI was really bad. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, all enemy turf tier armies are increased by 1. Cognoli has robots instead of Scudo enemies in Turf Wars, so they are much harder to deal with when taking Cognoli territory, since their current army in vanilla is a pushover. But in this mod, she can assemble a firing squad that you need to be prepared for. All things considered, this is the best direction of another difficulty this game needs, as well as a great mod to challenge yourself with. The only recommendation I would put for this mod is to make Turf Wars upgrades, that kind of thing, more expensive, similar to Khan's Revenge. That way you are needed to do more and bigger heists throughout the campaign. Anyways, I had fun running these challenges as well as playing CrimeBoss. Still gonna keep playing it, so if anyone from my Payday stuff is curious, or anyone else is new around here, I'd stick around for more videos and streams, cause this game is definitely great. May not be perfect, but maybe it'll get there. I don't say this often, but here's me being a sellout. If you enjoyed what you watch, feel free to hit subscribe on the funny YouTube button, or follow me on Twitch. That's where I'd like to say hi and chat with all you awesome individuals. Anyways, that's enough rambling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.